Hey friends, it's me, Aaliyah, and we have a big problem here. Anybody who does a lion diet does not post recipes on YouTube. They do not post very much content on YouTube. There are some people, but I honestly don't find it super interesting. Maybe because the lion diet is just beef, salt, and water, and it's super boring. But I came up with an amazing meatballs and gravy recipe. I checked on the lion diet website. There's not one up there. I was just making sure. I fully came up with it myself. But yeah, I'm going to make this, and I'm going to show y'all how I make this. I've lost 8 pounds in 23 days doing lion. And I have completely solved having migraines. I haven't had a migraine in 23 days. So I'm going to get a pan out, and I'm going to show y'all how I make these meatballs because the world needs to see it. I've got a stainless steel pot, pan, skillet, whatever. And then I'm going to grab some ground beef. So what y'all are going to need for this recipe is ground beef, of course, salt. I like using Celtic salt or French sea salt. Collagen and bovine gelatin. I tolerate these fine, so I'm just going to use these while I still have them. I'm pretty sure these are bovine anyways. Most gelatin is. But you can also just buy bovine gelatin or beef gelatin. Alright, so this recipe is really simple. Anybody with the lick of sense can do this recipe, y'all. It's really simple. So you're going to get your ground beef, and this was what was on sale, so this is what I'm going to use. Oh, okay. So you're going to roll your meat into meatballs. You don't even have to add anything to it. And then you're going to throw them in the pan. And I like to make, actually, I want them littler than this. I like to make them super little because it kind of reminds me of gnocchi noodles. So I make them super little, and you can measure this out. I'm just trying to track my fat ratio to my, yeah, I'm not really tracking super strict. But if you are, then you could definitely measure this out and just weigh everything out. But I'm not doing that. But yeah, you're just gonna roll it into itty bitty meatballs. And this is what it should look like. They do not all have to be the exact same size. Mine never are. But try to get them as close in size as you can so they all cook pretty evenly. And oh, my pan, you turn it on like medium high so they get a nice crispy outside and a soft and fatty inside. So we're just gonna roll these up. Okay guys, I've got to be honest with y'all. I screwed this up trying to do it in a stainless steel pan. You have to use a non-stick pan because if you do it in a stainless steel pan, the bottom of the meatballs will just stick to the bottom. And when you try and like stir them, you'll just end up with ground beef. So we're going to do this again, but in a non-stick pan. So I'll speed me remaking the meatballs. So this is only a 1/4 pound, but normally I do 1/2 pound. You're just going to transfer your meatballs into a bowl. And I think this is 80-20 or 73% lean ground beef. If you do that, you won't have to add extra tallow. But if it is leaner ground beef, you will want to add extra tallow. And you see all these little crispy bits? That's what makes the gravy good. So we're going to get some water poured in here. Make sure your burner is turned off. You want it to be off. And I'm just going to pour water in there till that... to however much gravy you want is how much water you're going to put in there. Some people like more gravy, some people like less. And you're just going to stir it all together. And I'll show y'all in a second. But having those little burnt pieces at the bottom of your pan is really important. Those little burnt pieces are what actually turns your gravy the gravy color. So once we've got it to a boil, I'm going to add some salt. This is just Celtic sea salt. Salt to taste. I like a lot of salt, so I put a lot of salt in there. And then this is just bovine collagen. And I'm just going to stick a scoop in there. Actually, I would do a whole scoop for half of a pound. So I'm just going to do like a quarter scoop. And then I would do 1 pack for half a pound, but I'm going to use a whole pack anyways. It's not going to hurt anything. And then you're just going to make sure to stir it up together really good. And the gelatin actually helps thicken the gravy. I pour it on there hot and just let it marinate in the meatballs for a little bit. But you could also let it sit and get really thick and then do it. It's whatever you feel best about. So this is what my gravy looks like. Doesn't it just look like gravy? Looks amazing, and it's still hot, so I'm just gonna pour it into my meatballs. There you go. You have meatballs and gravy, or meatball soup, whatever you want to call it. And here's the one that I screwed up. So yeah, the broth does thicken up. I'm just gonna put this in a Tupperware and eat it tomorrow, or eat both. You guys definitely need to watch me eat this. So I've got a spoon. You're gonna get a meatball. This is how you do it. You get a meatball, and then you fill the spoon up with broth or gravy, and you gotta blow on it. So good. It's like piping hot, but it's delicious. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a great day, and you can make this recipe even if you're just on carnivore. But yeah, I don't see a lot of Lion diet recipes out there, so it's going to be my personal mission to find as many as possible, and who knows, maybe one day I'll release a cookbook. I love you guys. Bye.